Hello, we are starting with a tour of the castle. Over here is going to be the portal room. Out here is just the main area, my failed armor stands. This is just the main area. And over here is the kitchen. And the last room on the first floor, the chest room. And heading upstairs, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this yet. Perhaps something castle-like. And then all of the bedrooms. Here's my bedroom. The rest of them are empty, waiting to be decorated. They all look the same. And lastly, this little storage closet. I really don't know what's gonna go here, but it's there. But we are starting with the kitchen. So, I'm looking around, mapping it out, planning where I'm gonna put stuff. But I opened the door to see. So I quickly shut the doors in panic and back in this corner. I actually stayed in this corner for a very long time. And my next plan was probably not the best thing to do, but I don't think I've ever successfully killed a creeper. So I broke out and decided to just build up and jump off the roof to lead it outside of my castle so it wouldn't blow up anything inside. So I bring it out, let it blow up, and then I get done patching up that hole, and then I head back inside to get back to what I was doing, and I see another one.
Agitating, grating voice.
I fill in another hole, and then I head back inside, check the corners to make sure there's nobody else, and I was going to get back to my kitchen before I realized maybe I should put some gates up. I actually had to do the same thing with my house because creepers kept coming in and blowing stuff up. So once I get done putting all the gates up, we can get back to the kitchen. And once again, I was going to get back to my kitchen before I decided to go grab a shovel and make some paths to the castle. I also grabbed some dark oak while I'm here because I do need that to decorate. Then I grabbed the shovel and I just randomly, placed the paths around. I'm usually bad at this, so oh well. I also filled in this little hole here to make the paths more even. Once I was done with that, I decided to make some trapdoors so I could add some decoration to my drawbridge. I had to move my puppy, but once I put him back, I was finished and we could finally get back to the kitchen. I started with some overhead cabinets out of birch wood. And then I placed some trapdoors on top of those to look like doors. And I did the same thing on the bottom, cleared out a little spot for the furnaces, and then added the trapdoors on top. Placed the furnaces and some dark oak trapdoors as decoration, and then I got to the table, placing the seats. And then I placed some fences with some more dark oak trapdoors on top, and I was a little worried you wouldn't be able to fit, so of course I had to test it out, and it worked pretty well as long as you sat on the other side. And quick pit stop, I heard somewhere that you could craft saddles, so I decided to test that out. And you can craft saddles now, that's crazy. And I also decided to see if you could craft name tags. And this is life-changing news, you can craft name tags now. Back to my kitchen, I decided to make a little cauldron to be a sink, and then I had to dump my lava bucket and hope it wouldn't burn anything because it was occupying my water bucket. But I placed the cauldron, it wasn't looking like sink, so I placed a tripwire in, and now looked like sink. I then made some pressure plates because I was tired of opening doors and just placed those around. And I was going to place them by the upstairs bedrooms, but it just looked too weird with the floor, so I didn't. Back to the kitchen. I think I'm done with it for now, maybe I'll add something later. But it is now time to work on the chest room. I started by adding some dark oak pillars, and then of course chests to the chest room. I then added these little trap doors as decoration, and then I basically repeated the same thing on the other side, same design and stuff. And I also had trapdoors to the bottom because it was still looking kind of plain. And I guess I forgot to record because I went through this whole process of making a simple design and it just failed. So you didn't miss anything, but I accidentally stripped my logs, so I had to strip all of them. It was funny to watch because it looked terrible, but moral of the story, I forgot to record for a while. Back to the rest of the chest room. I went to go to my chest to see if I had any cool leaves, and I only had moss downstairs, but upstairs I had some azalea bushes, and then I took my shears to go get some of my cherry blossom leaves. I got back and just placed all those leaves down in no particular design, and it actually looked really pretty. I really liked this design with all the leaves like hanging down from the ceiling. That is the end of the chest room for now. I then made a new pair of shears because the ones in my hand would break any minute. So I sheared all my sheep. And then I went to look for dye, grabbed some red and yellow, and I did end up going finding more pink later because I do need pink. But I wanted to make a red carpet in my main area, so I made all the red carpet and some yellow. And I started placing that. And as usual, I ran out of carpet blocks, so I went out to get more dye, and I actually found some purple flowers. First, I don't remember if I put these here on purpose because they're next to a bill, so I only grabbed a few to keep the scenery. Found a few red flowers, and then I accidentally fell into this cave, and I was gonna go into it, but there was entirely way too many zombies, so I left. More red flowers, and then I found some more purple flowers, and then I finally found some pink flowers, but I was taking them from the bees, so I left one for the bees to have. Went back after that and I finished the red carpet, and then I made some pink carpets to put in my chest room, and I'll save the rest of the pink carpet for my bedroom. And then I used that yellow to put in the kitchen. And then to finish the downstairs off, I went and grabbed some leaves to make these goofy looking flower pots and just spread those around, put those everywhere. And I put the last two upstairs. Now, as for the nether portal room, I'm going to have to go all the way into the mines to get some lava or obsidian, and then I kind of want to make a whole episode about me going to the nether for the very first time, because I've never been to the nether in survival Minecraft, so I think that's like, I'm going to save this room for its own episode. It is now time for the final tour. Here's the main entrance room, the kitchen, the chest room, which I love, looks better than one at my house. So that's it. We'll do the upstairs next Thursday, and maybe I'll have a special guest, so see you next Thursday.